Kia ora, ko lui kolonzaho, no mai ki te whare, welcome to the House. While many people are easing into Christmas, heading to drinks, writing Christmas cards, and mentally checking out, Parliament is doing the opposite. It's one of the busiest weeks of the year. 12 bills are scheduled across 32 legislative stages, and the most high-profile development is a short-notice shake-up of the Resource Management Act. The announcement landed via a kind of budget lock-up procedure. The government released its full outline of its RMA reform plan all at once due to market sensitivity. Media, officials and stakeholders were given a few hours on Tuesday morning to digest hundreds of pages before the 1 p.m. public release. In short, the RMA is being replaced by two new laws, one focused on development planning and one on the natural environment. Those two bills were introduced this week, but the government chose not to put them through the first reading under urgency. Here's Leader of the House and Minister responsible for RMA reform, Chris Bishop.
Mr Speaker, today the government introduced the Planning Bill and Natural Environment Bill. It's a major milestone in building a modern resource management system or planning and environmental management system. Those bills are not having their first readings this week. We could have done that, but I think it's worthwhile that those bills, they're around 700 pages, I think, in total, that those bills sit on the order paper and members have a good chance to digest them. They are chunky pieces of work and encourage members to have a read, and no doubt caucuses will wish to consider their positions on those bills.
Because these bills are moving through the standard legislative process, they won't pass until well into next year and won't actually take effect until 2029. To bridge the gap and provide certainty, the government did begin urgency on the Resource Management Duration of Consents Amendment Bill. Here's Bishop again.
But until the new system is in place, there is quite a degree of uncertainty, which I think many members will have heard about around the community, around what happens in the interim. So this bill, the Resource Management Duration of Consents Amendment Bill, aims to provide that certainty. So we do want to make sure that businesses and communities can continue to operate smoothly. And at the moment, consent holders face an unnecessary burden. Many of them are required to renew resource consents under the current system, even though the new system will be in place that will streamline processes. And it's our view that that is inefficient and unnecessary. So these are temporary, yet urgent changes that will avoid uncertainty, stress and cost. Two key changes. First, it extends resource consent set to expire before the new system is in place, and it reinstates and extends recently expired consents where a replacement application has already been lodged.
The RMA was originally passed in 1991 by the Fourth National Government and was, at the time, internationally novel. More than 30 years later, there's broad agreement that reform is needed. Where parties differ, though, is how to do that. Here's the Green Party's Lan Pham during the first reading.
You know, Minister Bishop and Simon Court have been very... maybe collaborative would be too strong of a word, but they've involved us at some points along the way in the RM development, and I want to give them credit for that. What was really disappointing with this is not having any heads up about it at all. And that could have been a really basic thing to do, right? Like, if this is so important and urgent to the transition, just let us know about it, at least, right? And then we can actually understand it. The fact that we've just got this bill, literally, was it an hour or two before it goes through all stages of urgency, is absolutely unacceptable and very, very disappointing.
Because the bill was set down for all stages under urgency, many government-backed bench contributions took on an elevator pitch style duration, brief and focused on momentum. Here are a few of them.
Catherine Wedd.
It's a real shame to hear on the other side of the House the opposition members saying no, 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 because on this side of the House we say yes, 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 and the new RMA reforms are going to create a culture of yes, where we get things built in this country, infrastructure, housing, renewable energy, and look, we're about backing rural New Zealand, backing our farmers, going for growth, creating jobs and opportunity. So I commend this bill to the House.
Grant McCullum.
I recently attended a meeting in mid-Canterbury at the Lagmore Westfield Hall, full of farming families who were facing an uncertain future, burdened down with cost and stress. And the reason was the RMA and the consent process they were engaged in. We have a new bill that it will be read next week, which will help make this process a lot easier for them. This bill here actually allows them to get into that new process and to remove some of that stress and uncertainty. I commend it to the House.
Madam Speaker, this is a simple bill which extends consents out for 2 years. I would invite other members to get reading comprehension lessons who don't understand that point. Commend this bill to the House.
After a long evening in committee stage, during which opposition MPs tried their best to slow down proceedings, the Resource Management Duration of Consents Amendment Bill passed all stages about an hour into Tuesday morning. It's likely to be signed into law next week. I te whakarongo koe ki te whare. You've been listening to The House, a program made with funding from Parliament's Office of the Clerk. Mātua.